Thanks. Gosh, yeah, really. I'm going to try to stay away from that. Oh, that's shining on that, is it? You don't want to stare at my face back there at the same time you stare at me, do you? Because I certainly wouldn't want to do that. That's like more than one is enough right there. I guess one is more than that. That's what I meant to say. I work at KSL on a show called Studio 5. Some of you might have seen that before. I'm guessing most of you haven't, because it primarily caters to stay-at-home moms. And if I run into a guy, then men have no clue what I do. Their wives all know what I do, but none of their husbands have any clue. I work on a show. It's sort of a lifestyle type show, so we deal with whatever things people encounter as part of their lifestyles. And we try to be in touch with whatever their topics are, topics of interest that they're into. So one day, my co-host Brooke comes running into the station, and she says, "Baby showers. I found the perfect person for baby showers." So I guess it's all sort of a relative thing. I don't care anything about baby showers, but all the rest of my female co-workers are dying to know about baby showers. All I know is I want to be out of the house when the baby showers are going on. So Brooke says, I found this person from baby showers. She's a party planner. She's thrown hundreds of baby showers. She's going to be phenomenal at baby showers. I've got her booked on the show. And most important of all, she has strong feelings about open house baby showers. Open house baby showers is current trend where people just show up during a 2-hour period and come and make, have you been to open house baby showers? Do you have opinions on open house baby showers? Maybe not. This lady has strong opinions on open house baby showers, I'm telling you. And so Brooke said, we've got to get her on the show. So we booked her on the show. As part of this weekly meeting that we went through, we go through and we plan each day's show and go through the different segments that are going to be on there. Another person who was going to be on that day was Holly Stone. She's our fashion and style contributor. And Holly was coming on, and she was going to do a regular big segment. We also asked her to do a separate little small thing called Holly's favorite fashion find. So she was supposed to find out her favorite mascara or favorite hair comb or favorite foundation primer or some kind of weird thing. So we said, we've got something, what's Holly's favorite fashion find? And the person who was producing that said, it's turtlenecks. And we're like, turtlenecks? No, turtlenecks aren't a favorite fashion find. We'll find something for her. We'll go out and find some mascara or some kind of hairspray or something. They said, no, she's really committed to turtlenecks. She really wants to talk about turtlenecks. And we said, nobody cares about turtlenecks unless you're a turtle. And turtles aren't a big demographic for us in the ratings. So we really don't care about turtles. And she's like, no, she wants to do turtles. It's like, okay. It's just going to be a short little segment. We will bury the turtleneck somewhere in the show. No one will pay any attention to it. It'll just be a short little segment because that same show, of course, we've got baby showers. So the baby showers is the high point of the show. Turtlenecks, nobody will ever be paying attention to turtlenecks. Show rolls around. It's the day. Our party planner's getting ready. Holly's getting ready. We're doing the segments. Brooke and I did some segment to start with. I can't remember exactly what it was. So we're doing the one little segment, and we're going to the commercial break. And we say, okay, coming up after the commercial break. Don't mess up someone. Don't trip someone when they're walking by with chicken parmesan or whatever. After the commercial break, it is the moment you have been waiting for, and the camera pans over, and we got this big display of this baby shower. It's got the little pennant decorations there. It's got little cupcake decorated plates there. It's got presents that are all wrapped. It's got invitations. It's got handouts. It's got take-homes. It's got everything. It's the moment you've been waiting for. Baby showers, if you've ever been to a baby shower, if you've ever wanted to go to a baby shower, this is the segment you have got to see because we have a party planner who's going to answer all of your questions. She's going to get the perfect baby shower for you, and she's also going to give you her opinion on open house baby showers. That's coming up right after the commercial. And we went to the commercial break. It goes to black for like two minutes or whatever. So during that moment, 2 minutes, Brooke was just doing the segment on baby showers. I wasn't part of that. So Brooke goes over and she stands next to our woman, our guest who's going to come on, Brittany, who's going to do the segment on baby showers. Now, during the commercial break, a lot of crazy things are going on in a TV studio. And a lot of crazy things are going on with poor Brittany as well. First of all, we got a bunch of bright lights on the ceiling that are pointing down. We got like 12 of these lights pointing at Brittany. Each of these 12 lights about 1/10 of the power of the sun, okay? So it's a little on the warm side there. In addition to that, we've got these big giant studio cameras. And these camera people are maneuvering around and they're pointing them and they're training them in right at Brittany and Brooke. And so they're moving. They look like some kind of Star Wars laser weaponry of some sort. And then people are wandering around the studio. There are other segments coming on after baby showers. So guests are coming in and they're setting up on the studio. So it's distracting. We've got bright lights. We've got big cameras pointing. We've got people milling around. So that's what's going on in the studio. Now what's going on in poor Brittany's head, she hasn't slept well. She didn't sleep well the night before. Probably didn't sleep well the night before that. It's her first time on TV. She's a little bit nervous, so she's a little bit bleary-eyed. She's a little bit nervous while she's standing there, so her knees are probably shaking a little bit, hands sweating a little bit. So that's what's going on with Brittany. Bleary eye, knocky knees, sweaty hands. In the studio, bright lights, people milling around, big giant cameras. And we're on the air in 3, 2, 1. Camera pans by. Brooke says, welcome back to Studio 5. It's baby shower time. We're going to help you plan the perfect baby shower today. Brittany is here. She's a masterful party planner. She has planned and thrown dozens of baby showers. Brittany, first of all, tell me, what are your thoughts on open house baby showers? Now, Brittany knew we were going to ask that. That's the reason we had her on. We told her we're going to find out about open house baby showers. First question we're going to ask you is open house baby showers. So she knows it's coming. We say, what are your thoughts on open house baby showers? I think that baby showers are an important, she starts slowing down, time for the mother, a little bit slower, and then she stopped talking. Like nothing came out. She stopped talking. It's TV. We talk on TV. It was about 3 seconds, just about 3 seconds. So it wasn't like the end of the world was coming, but it was long enough for everything that she was about to say to sort of fall apart. The train came off the tracks. Brooke wasn't even sure what she was saying. It was the very first question. She doesn't know where she was going. But Brooke sort of jumped in and helped limp things along to the end of the segment. It sort of finished. It was a horrible segment. It was not good. It was the high point of the show, was the baby showers. And now the rest of the show, we're nosediving. Guess what's coming next? Turtlenecks, exactly. We're going from horrible to even worse. Brooke and I come over and we sit down on the couch in a different part of the set. We're sitting there. Holly, our fashion person, sitting in this chair next to us. We come back, 3, 2, 1, we're on the air. We say, welcome back. Holly's found her favorite fashion find and all of her running around. Holly, we said, what is your favorite fashion find? What's cutting edge and new and hip and trendy that everybody wants to know about? Of course, we know it is. We know it's not cool and hip and trendy and nobody wants to know about it. But with that, Holly leaned forward and she said, turtlenecks. And the lights came on. Not just in the studio, but in Holly's eyes. Turtlenecks. She said, you won't believe these turtlenecks. These are the most wonderful thing you have ever seen. And she pulled up this stack of turtlenecks. She said, just feel them. Just feel them. When we leaned forward and we feel them, it felt like some loom from a magical Orient silken something or other. I didn't know. I'd never felt fabric this wonderful before. And she says, and then they come in all these different colors, and she pulled out more, and they were red and azure and ochre and turquoise and teal and peat and all these different colors I'd never heard of before. And then she said, and then they are the wonderful thing to accessorize. You won't believe it. And she gestures, and all of a sudden over here, there are a bunch of these mannequins that are popping up, and they've got turtlenecks on. And so they have belts, and they have cardigans, and they have hats, and they have all sorts of stuff. She says, you can wear these with anything. This is the most versatile piece of fabric you're going to have in your closet. And that's not the best thing. Not the best thing! How can you get better than that? All these colors and the fabric and the accessories. She says, the best thing, they are only $1.72. I know! That's what we did too! $1.72! She says, yes, they're at Old Navy. They were on sale. They were on sale on top of that. They were on a clearance rack, and they marked them down on top of that. And right now they are at $1.72. And you have got to get there. I was at Old Navy this morning, and there were still plenty of them, but they are going to disappear. So run, don't walk to your nearest Old Navy and get these turtlenecks at $1.72. They will be the most fantastic piece of clothing you have in your closet. With that, we wrapped up and we went to the commercial break. Before the show was over, the phones started ringing. Emails started coming in. People who worked in the building started coming down to the studio. Oh, what did we hear about a turtleneck or something like that? They all wanted to know about the turtleneck. But we weren't there to answer their questions because guess where we were? Old Navy buying all the turtlenecks. Within an hour, Old Navy's up and down the Wasatch Front sold out of turtlenecks. They were all gone. Not just because they were $1.72. It was partly because of a huge difference in Brittany and in Holly. And I think it comes down to passion. It comes down to an excitement. It comes down to an enthusiasm. It comes down to passion. Holly had this passion in her. She had somehow mustered up this unbelievable passion for turtlenecks. And it came across. It moved everybody to action. It didn't matter if she was afraid of being on TV. It didn't matter if we didn't even care about turtlenecks. We somehow felt her passion, and we wanted to be part of it. And we wanted to buy that turtleneck. Brittany, who had wonderful ideas and would throw a party better than any of us in this room, somehow or other, the passion just didn't come out. If I were to call any of you right now, and I was going to ask you, Elva, if I called you and said, I need you to come on Studio 5 tomorrow, okay? And you're going to come on, and we've just figured out what topic you're going to talk about, okay? And if I'm calling any of you I'm going to say, you need to come on Studio 5 tomorrow to talk about something. Do you know the first question that's going to go through your mind? It's not going to go through guys' minds, but every woman is thinking the same thing in their mind. What do I wear? Exactly. And right after that, do I need to get my hair done? Those are the two things you think about. Because you think, oh, well, I'm going to be on TV. What am I going to wear? I need to go get a new outfit. I need to go stop by the beauty parlor and get my hair done or something. We think that that's the most important thing. We think it's our appearance. Guess what? It's not. Nobody remembers what Brittany had on that day. Nobody remembers what Holly's hair looked like that day. Nobody was moved to action by their looks or their appearance. They were moved to action by passion. More than anything else. You know, there are different things that we do every day. Some things we just do. Something I wake up, I sort of categorize in 3 different categories. Some things you just do. I wake up every morning, I get ready for work, I have a big bowl of all bran, I go to work and eat some cookies that we have for the guests, but I eat them instead. I go home, I get on the treadmill, I watch some NCIS, I go to bed. Those are things I do. Nothing exciting in there. There's nothing in there that gets you going. There's nothing really that moves you except the all bran, but that's a different story. Yeah, maybe. Then there are things that we do well. I coach all my kids' soccer teams. I'm not like the greatest soccer coach in the world, but I sort of do it well. We try to play games instead of just drills. I'm telling you, I hate coaching soccer. I dread soccer practice. I hate the soccer games. It's a waste of my time. So even though you might do something well, it doesn't mean it's your passion. And then there's the third category, the things that really get you going, the things that get you excited. The mere thought of them gets your stomach acids churning a little bit, and you get a little adrenaline going. That you think, oh, I might be able to have an opportunity to do this. When Corey dropped those things off on his son's bed, and he was reading those about construction management or about outdoor agriculture, as he's reading those, the son is thinking, oh, this is sort of exciting to me. That's igniting your passion. If you feel that, that means you've got a passion for something. And if you have a passion for something, please, by all means, follow that passion. Your passion will be one of the greatest motivators for you and for other people. I'm going to tell you a couple stories. One of my big passions, and this is sort of to illustrate, your passions are for you. Just because you have a passion doesn't mean anybody else has to have the same passion. You all can have diverse passions. I love getting a bargain. More than anything else, I love bargains. Sunday morning, I run out and I grab the newspaper, I spread it out, I put my stack of my ads there. I remember this one Sunday, Meijer. I was living in Kentucky at the time. Meijer was like a superstore, like Super Target or Smith's Marketplace, whatever. Meijer had this flyer, and it said super sale. Oh, I'm excited. It says, buy 5 things, get a coupon for $5 off your next purchase. Whoa, that's not bad. And then I noticed some of the things were less than $1 a piece. Now, if some of you are good at math, you know you're buying 5 things for $5, or no, for less than $5, but they give you a coupon for $5 off. You're making money off of this. This is the sweetest thing in the world. I was so excited. The next day, I'm racing home from work. I pull over at Meijer. I run it. One of the things on the list, cake mixes. 70 cents, okay? 70 cents for a cake mix. You buy 5, they're going to give you $5 off. It's only costing me $3.50. I got to try this out. So I go and I get my French vanilla, I get my chocolate, I get my triple chocolate, I got my funfetti and my cherry chip. I got all 5 of them. I go up to the front. Boop, 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 boop. I scan my 5, swipe my card, charges me $3.50, and out comes this coupon for $5. Whoa! I am excited. I'm like, now my stomach's going. Like, I'm excited about this. I run out to the car, I drop my cake mixes, and I come back in. Okay, I got my coupon here. So I go get 5 more cake mixes. I got another French vanilla, I got a regular vanilla, I got a yellow cake mix, got butter, and I got a triple chocolate. So I got boop, 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 boop. I feed my coupon in. It gives me $1.50 change and gives me another coupon. I take the cake mix, I throw them in the back seat again. I run back in again. I get 10 cake mixes this time. I'm doubling down on this. I get my cake, boop, boop, boop. They keep feeding me coupons. I run out and put them in the car. I get my toaster strudels were on there. I love toaster strudels. Toaster strudels are the breakfast of kings, I tell you. They put Pop-Tarts to shame. Don't you love toaster strudels? You don't love toaster? Oh, how can you not love toaster strudels? You've never had, well, that's why you don't love them. You've got to try them. Linda, you will love them. You will be a toaster strudel fan forever. No. So I get my toaster. Now, toaster strudels are a little more than $1, but I can never afford toaster strudels because they're expensive. But if I balance my toaster strudels out with my cake mixes, I can still get like 10 for free and get more coupons. So I'm getting toaster strudels. I'm throwing them in the back of the car because I love my toasters. I'm getting frozen peas. I'm getting cans of this and that. I'm stocking up. Finally, I'd been through the checkout like 15 times, and the back seat of the car was a little too full, so I finally left and I drove home. I come in, I've got all my bags loaded up on my 2 arms, and I come into my wife, I said, honey, guess how much all this food cost me? She wasn't amused. She's like, I don't know. I said, no, really, I'm seriously. Guess how much all this food cost me? She says, no, really, I don't know. Guess how much it cost me? Play along with my joke here, please. She's like, she finally turns around and says, I don't know, like $20. It was free! It was free! And I'm shaking my pocket, and I got change in my pocket! She wasn't amused. She said, seriously? You like went through the store once, and you got all that food and change? I said, well, I didn't go through like once. Like, well, how many times did you go through? I said, I don't know. 12 or 13 or 14, 15 times or something. And she rolled her eyes. She said, I would never do that. It's okay. It's okay that she would never do that. It wasn't her passion. She wasn't the one who was getting excited. She wasn't the one loving seeing that backseat pile up with bag after bag. She wasn't the one who loved stocking the shelves in the basement full of cake mixes and having the freezer chock full of toaster strudels. That was me. I was the one who loved that. It was my passion. It wasn't hers. She didn't have to buy into it. I was the one buying into it. Okay, I got to tell you another quick little story. When I was about your age, I was here in Provo going to school. Maybe not here, but somewhere else in Provo going to school. Freshman, it was September, just about this time of year, 1979. And I was taking a speech class, and I was thinking I knew what I was going to do with my life and had career goals or whatever. And ended this one speech class, and some people said, hey, we're going down to the TV studio. You want to come with us? I'm like, what are you doing? They said, we're helping out on the news broadcast. There's a news broadcast every night. Are you serious? And they said, yeah, come on with us. You can help out. And I came down, and I looked. It was so thrilling to watch this TV, this live news broadcast. They pushed the door back, and these lights from the studio came out and just like grabbed around me like octopus tentacles and wouldn't let me go. And I thought, this is what I have to do. And I said, what do I do? And they said, well, just sign up. They'll have you an assignment for you. So the next day, I showed up, and I was assigned to do Film Chain. Film Chain is a job that does not exist anymore in current TV, but they sort of have new digital kind of stuff. There's an anchor reading a story about a fire, and there's a picture over to the side of flames licking up a building. Or he's reading a story about a burglary, and there's like a guy with a burglar mask. Or there's a marshmallow shortage, and there's a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. There's always a picture there. And so the Film Chain guy was the guy who would get individual slides that corresponded with the story and put them in this machine. So I was in charge of Film Chain. I went through and I got my 20 slides for the show, for the different stories, lined them up in this little tray, and I went over to the Film Chain. Film Chain was up this little tiny little spiral rickety staircase in this little tiny dark room, and there were these 2 big like drums, like old slide projector carousel kind of things, but they all faced out. So I put my projectors, my slides in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All I have to do is push a button when they say Film Chain, Advanced Film Chain. I push the button. Advanced Film Chain. I just push the button. Picture after picture comes up. This was the most exciting thing to me. I was so thrilled. I was there. They say, okay, Film Chain, Advanced Film Chain, and the fire comes out. Oh, it's me. I made that fire picture come up there. That's so cool. Things were going really well until there was a story about like the first lady, who I think was Nancy Reagan at the time. They said, Advanced Film Chain. I pushed the button, and for some reason I had put Nancy Reagan in upside down. So there's the anchor reading the story with this gigantic Nancy Reagan hanging upside down next to him. And they're on the headsets there, lose the film chain, lose the film chain. I can take care of this, I can take care of this. I'll just flip it around really quickly. Unfortunately, it's like a slide. They're actually taking pictures of it. So as I reach in to grab my fingers to pull Nancy Reagan out, yes, it looks like big King Kong fingers grabbing at Nancy Reagan, pulling her out of the slide. We're like, what's happening with film chain? What's happening with it? I'm just going to fix it. I got it all taken care of. Really, it's okay. I'm trying to switch it around, push it back in. It was a horrible. It was okay for another couple stories until I mixed up slides, and there was a story about a drug bust, and I had a picture of the president of BYU on there. Yeah, there were a few more mistakes in that lovely episode of that newscast. When the show was all over, we have a little post-show meeting where people go through and say what went wrong, what went good, what went well. And you know everybody's talking about who was in Film Chain, who was the moron who was in Film Chain. They're all pointing and laughing at me. I should have been hiding under a desk or something. I should have been hiding in a closet. I should have been cowering in the corner. I didn't care. It was the most thrilling day for me. I loved that. I had discovered this thing I was so passionate about. Who cares that there were fingers pulling out Film Chain? Those were my fingers that were on TV. It was so exciting for me. I loved it. And even though I was horrible at it, it didn't matter. You can learn skills. You can't learn passions. So as you're trying to discover things and decide things, can you guys get past those little papers out that I got? I'm going to do a little exercise for you. As you discover things that you are passionate about, follow those. It doesn't matter if you have the skills to perfect them right now. You can learn those things. You can perfect those things. Are they on the far side over by the green t-shirts over there? Maybe back in the back? We're going to do a little exercise. Some people know what their passions are automatically. Some people don't really know what their passions are. So this little exercise, I'm going to give you 8 little, it's called the passion pyramid, although it's a sideways pyramid. It looks more like an NCAA bracket, like we're doing bracketology. But that would be illegal, so we wouldn't do that, of course. What I want you to do is in these 8 slots, some of you have one on each side, some of you have just 2 on the same thing. List 8 activities that you like to do. 8 activities that you really love to do. 8 of some of your favorite activities. These are not jobs. These are not occupations. These are not careers. They're just things that you love to do. Activities that you like to do. Maybe it's reading. Maybe it's traveling. Maybe it's playing basketball. Maybe it's running cross country. Maybe it's shopping. Maybe it's getting a bargain. I don't know, whatever it is. Watching the news, reading newspapers, whatever it might be. So you need to write down on this piece of paper 8 of your favorite activities. As you've done that, once you get your 8, that'll take you the longest thing, just trying to figure out what your 8 things are that you really love. Then pit them one against the other. So if you've got reading in the top and you've got traveling in the second one, you've got to figure out which one you like better. And whichever one you like better, move that over to the right. And then whichever one you like better from that one and the other one, move that one to the right. Just play it all forward until you come up with your one last one. Someone actually put meetings down there? Is that what I'm hearing? You people are sick. Some of you might be struggling. I love cooking. My wife loves gardening. You might love baking. Maybe you like eating, decorating, throwing parties, organizing, hanging out with kids, babysitting, teaching. Heather clearly likes to be a nonconformist, and she wrote her list from the bottom up instead of from the top down. Some of you have all of your 8 in. Some of you don't have all your 8 in. Anybody come close to figuring out what they're... Oh, you got shopping and reading. Which do you like between shopping and reading? Which do you like between running and traveling? It's got to be traveling. Who would rather run than travel? You could travel, see exotic things. Don't let me be intrusive, peering over your shoulder, and as I peer over your shoulder and am intrusive. I have never seen that one ever written before. You're a strange person. I'm just telling you right now. I'm not going to tell anybody what it is. Okay, now everybody has to know. But I'm not going to tell them doodling. Doodling? What kind of doodling is that? I don't know. Try getting an occupation off of that. Sure, how do you get cheat? Okay, sure. Sure, you can mix them together. As you continue to play out your thing, whatever your last thing is one of your biggest passions. It's one of the things you love doing more than anything else. And maybe it's news to you. Maybe you had never thought of it. If there is something that you can do, occupation-wise with that, if there's something that you can do, that's going to be the most fantastic thing in the world. Maybe not. Maybe you'll have to look back a little row or two. But my point is, you need to find your passions and let that direct where you go. Don't let money direct where you go. I was talking to my son who's in college now, and just this summer we were having conversations, and we were trying to figure out he was like, what should I do? What should I be? And we were trying to think of, because we thought he wanted a lot of money. And so we were trying to think of careers that paid a lot. And we're thinking of some of our friends who make a lot of money. And we were saying, well, so-and-so does such and such, so-and-so does such and such. And he says, it's not about the money. I want to do something that I really love to do. That's why it's important to discover your passions and engage your passions. Does anybody want to share one of their final ones with me? What's yours? Family activities. Good going right there. And yours was, because you're tied, bicycling and grandkids. And so you mix them together. Bicycling with your grandkids. There you go. And you like cycling as well. Anybody else want to share some others? Yeah, you can have a big biking trip there. Traveling and organizing, the final two. You can help organize people to go traveling. There's like a mixture right there. Anybody else have one they want to share with me? Yes. Be brave. It doesn't matter. You can tell me your top one. Education. And if someone really, really loves education, then that's a great passion to follow. And you can pursue that on so many different levels. Yeah, exactly. Amen to that. Anybody else have one they want to tell me? Should I say yours? Jiu-jitsu beat out doodling, so jiu-jitsu could be a great thing. Let me tell you a couple. There are actually two things on here. So if you have one that's just on the one side, there's another one on the other side. If you have one other papers, there might be two there. One thing you might even want to do is if you have a spouse or if you have a friend, a best friend or a parent, you can even have them do it. Fill out the 8 and see if you can predict what their top passion is going to be. Maybe let someone else determine what their passion is going to be. Maybe you could even do it with the different things, like maybe list 8 careers. But I don't like that being confining as just careers, because your passion should direct you whatever you do. But you have another one you can do whatever you want to with the other blank one there. I want to tell you a couple of quick little stories. My boss had an idea one day. She said, we were doing this theme for the month was Find Your Voice. And so she said, Darin and Brooke, I want you to go out to Dean Kalin. Dean Kalin is the vocal coach to the stars. Coach David Archuleta and a bunch of people who are on American Idol. She said, I want you to go and work with him, show what it takes to sing a song, do a little demo, and then we want you to tape that and show it on the show. So we went over there, and Brooke and I were there, and he worked with us a little bit. And he said, okay, what song are you going to sing? And Brooke said, I'm going to sing my favorite song, my favorite things from Sound of Music. He said, Darin, what song are you going to sing? I said, I'm going to do Hey Soul Sister by Train, because it's just been playing on my iPod. So I'll sing that song. And so he took us down to the studio. He said, okay, Darin, here it goes. And the intro starts, and I'm worried, because I'm singing into the microphone. They got the big spit guard thing there. I got my headphones on. I'm behind a big plate glass window, and I'm like, hey, soul sister. I want to be on tune. I want to make sure you know. He's like, no, Darin, you got to give me something a little bit more. So he starts again. Hey, soul sister. And you're like, no, Darin, no, look, you got to give me something. You got to give me some oomph. You got to give me some passion. He said, that's what makes things successful. You listen to successful recording artists, it's not this perfect pitch. He said, I can fix that. If you're too low, I can raise you up. If you're too high, I can bring it down. I can add vibrato. I can take out vibrato. I can cut off a note. I can extend a note out. I can fix all that. The one thing I can't give your song that only you can give is passion, feeling, enthusiasm, excitement. And once I figured that out, I was singing horribly, but he was able to fix all that. there's one thing that only you can give, whatever it is in your life, and that's your passion. People can fix any other mistakes, can correct anything else. You can learn skills, you can learn other stuff. Your passion is what only you can give. I was even playing a little game with my wife once. I said, think of some presidents of the United States who you think of as being passionate. Can you think of a president who you think of as being passionate? Don't say Clinton, because that's not what I'm talking about, okay? Okay, Teddy Roosevelt. Anybody else have a president they can think of as a passionate president? Kennedy, Lincoln. You can tell these old people are sitting up here. Sorry. We went through and we listed some presidents who we thought of as being passionate presidents. And then I went through and had her list some people who weren't passionate. And then we actually analyzed the people, all of the presidents on our passionate list were all 2-term presidents or more, FDR. There was something about them. There's this kind of power that comes from passion. When you have passion and can engage your passion, people will follow you. They will do what you want them to do. You'll be a great leader. I'm going to tell you just a couple quick little stories. There's a guy named Adam Terry. Adam Terry lived here in Provo. He went into banking because he thought he needed to go into banking. He needed to have a respectable education. And so he got his degree and he went into banking. And he hated banking. He didn't like banking. He was doing it just because he thought he needed to. And then the greatest thing happened in January of this year. They fired him. He's out of job. And he didn't know what to do. But he always loved food. And so one day as he was driving from Salt Lake to Provo, he looked up in this abandoned field, and there was some abandoned, run-down, like big, gigantic van truck behemoth combination thing. And he pulled off, and he went to the person, he said, "Can I buy your truck from you?" And they said, yeah, $1,000. And he bought this big truck, and it runs, and he brought it back home, and he painted it all up, and his wife did these murals, and now he travels around with the Waffle Love food truck. And it is this huge success because he loves food and he loves waffles and he's never been happier in his life. And he pulls up to people and they come up and they buy waffles from him and he's so happy making people happy. And he puts peaches on and Nutella on that Biscoff spread and whatever he puts on. And it makes people happy and he is loving what he's doing because he's doing what his passion is and not his banking career because he thought that was what he was supposed to do. There was a woman who came on our show. Her name's Julie Hill. She got a law degree because she likes to talk and she likes books. And she's a book-smart person who's very persuasive. And so she got her law degree and she went to California and she was working at Stanford for some big law firm and she was making tons of money and she was very successful. Not super happy, but very successful. And she had a baby and she went home on maternity leave and she didn't come back. And it wasn't just because she wanted to stay home and play with the baby. She just could not bring herself to go back to work. She said, it just wasn't, my heart wasn't in it. I didn't love that. I didn't love doing that law stuff. But over the course of her career, every once in a while there would have been a coworker's birthday, and she'd make a cake. People loved her cakes, and she loved making cakes. She'd make cupcakes. People loved her cupcakes. And so instead of going back to law, she decided she would start baking cakes. What kind of career move is that? You're giving up a law career to make cupcakes. She loves making cupcakes and wedding cakes and huge, elaborate, beautiful cakes. She used to have to stay up till 1 or 2 in the morning doing law studies and writing briefs, and she dreaded it. Now she stays up till 2 or 3 in the morning decorating a wedding cake. And she loves every minute of it. She has never regretted walking away from her law degree and going to her cake degree. Those are lessons that I have learned from doing Studio 5. That it's people's passion is what will move them. And people's passion is what will move others. It is the most powerful tool you have to influence others and to bring happiness to yourself. I'm going to sing you a quick little song here to wrap things up. But I hope that as you go through, even as we were seeing some of the stuff up here, and they were talking about careers today will not be around 20 years from now. Amen. So guess what? Don't pick a career. Pick a passion. Pick something that you love that will be able to change and adapt, but you will always be happy doing it. It'll get your stomach churning and make you almost feel like you have to go to the bathroom or something like that. You know, like that stomach acids and they get you excited. That's what you need to follow. As you're trying to decide what you're going to do with your life, with your career, how you're going to interact with people, make sure you have a passion and you engage those passions for your own success, for your own power, and for your own happiness. I'm going to sing a quick little song to end things. Can you clap with me? Okay, now you can stop. It all comes down to passion. It's more important than your hairdo or fashion. So if you think that your life is crashing, remember, it all comes down to passion. Now remember that passion is power, and passion is strength, and passion's what you need to make you go to great lengths. And passion's more important than pitch in a song. You can even ask Lil Wayne or Louis Armstrong. See, they can't sing, you get it? It all comes down to passion. Now you can clap. It's more important than your hairdo or fashion. So if you think that your life is crashing, remember, it all comes down to passion. Now you can stop again. Well, I tell you, that passion got me toaster strudels, and passion helped me see that I love it when my fingers are on film chain TV. And passion turns a one-term to a two-term president. It can even make you want to buy a turtleneck. Here we go. It all comes down to passion. It's more important than your hairdo or fashion. So if you think that your life is crashing, remember, it all comes down to passion. Now you can stop. Because give me a PASSION. It's better than a shot of adrenaline. It gives you tinglies and butterflies. And here's the real scoop. True passion makes you feel like you got a poopy-doopy-doo, a boop-boopy-doop. It all comes down to passion. It's more important than your hairdo or fashion. So if you think that your life is crashing, remember, it all comes down to passion. So if you think that your life is crashing, it all comes down to passion. The big ending. If you think that your life is crashing, remember that it all comes down to passion. Thank you.